Hey, I'd like to ask you a question. How do you experience your own training process? Is it something that you're enthusiastic about, that you're happy to go and do, that is freeing and liberating and fun? Or has it become this daunting task that you need to put yourself through, like a chore almost, that, takes a lot from you, that you need to prepare yourself for mentally? If it's the first option, then great, just keep doing what you're doing. If it's the second one, then what happened? I'm sure when you started training, it didn't feel like that. I mean, you probably got into training because it was liberating, because it was fun, because it was freeing your mind, and because you just love doing it. So what happened along the way that changed it, that made it into this difficult mental thing? I'm guessing it has to do with that activity taking more and more space in your life and becoming more and more serious and objective oriented, and very quickly, or maybe not, but over time, it became something that you were looking for results in. So it wasn't that spontaneous thing that you just wanted to go out and do without any clear goal apart from just being there and doing it. But it became this goal-oriented thing where, well, if you set yourself some goals, it means you need to reach them. And if you don't reach them, then there's frustration. If you reach them, great. But then there's new goals taking the place of those. And it goes on. And at some point you don't reach your goals, and at some point you're frustrated. So what if letting go becomes the best option at this point? What if giving up becomes the best option at this point? Now, I know it may seem very counterproductive that if something is not working out, then probably you should try harder to make it work out. But is it really? I mean, this kind of reasoning of trying harder is basically based on conflict. It's conflict in your mind. It's about two forces fighting each other and seeing which one wins. So the two forces are your inner desire to kind of relax and not go through this difficult thing, and like, I can't take this training anymore, it's hard, it's intense, it's something I don't really want to be doing right now, but I feel like I have to, like a chore. And the other force is your determination to push through this, I don't know, it's not laziness, but this desire to not do it. So there's this war raging in your mind, and sometimes the determination will win, sometimes it won't. And what happens in all cases, I bet it's very frustrating. Why? Because if the relaxation side of it worked or wins, then the result is that you feel lazy, you feel like you're not being productive, you're not going towards your goal, and you have a sense of frustration, and maybe you feel like you identify yourself through your achievement, and therefore if you don't achieve, then you're worth nothing. And that creates tension, that creates conflict in your mind. But if the determined aspect of you, determined side, wins the battle, then you're still having to deal with this conflict. Like, that conflict doesn't disappear. You're still out there training, forcing yourself, going through this hard thing, knowing that you will have to go through it again, maybe the next day and the day after and the week after that. So you never really get out of it. It's not like a definite win, you know? So maybe it's time to give up. Like maybe it's time to relax and kind of let go of all this, like drop it. Like this big heavy bag that you're carrying on your back, just drop it. Like I like to compare things to other things. So it's like kind of breathing, you know? What happens when you breathe in? You take it in, and at some point there's a block. And what do you do when that happens? You don't think to yourself, oh, I feel blocked, so what am I gonna do? I'm gonna try harder and take in more air. No, you don't do that. What do? You relax, you let go. And that's what breathing is. Breathing out is, sorry. It's letting go of the tension. And it's this constant alternation of phases that creates effortless breathing. It's not one over the other, okay? So it's kind of the same with your training. At some point when you've been trying hard and it feels like it's starting to build up some conflict and tension, then you have to let go, you have to breathe out, you have to relax. And so you're probably thinking, well, if I do that, then how do I reach my goals? How do I get better at what I do? Because goals matter. And yes, they do. I agree. You want to get better, you want to reach your results. That's part of it. I totally get it. But that's where the magic happens, because if you manage to let go when you need to let go and to try when you need to try, you're into this perfect mental sweet spot of tension and relaxation. It's this alternating phase, again, like breathing, where there is no more conflict in your mind. You're eliminating the conflict in your mind, and therefore your mind is just working in this smooth, flowy state. And the result of that will be, first, you'll be enthusiastic about training because there's no more conflict. You don't need to push yourself anymore. You're out there because you want to be out there. You're training because you want to train, and if you didn't want to, you wouldn't be there. So because it's so nice and fun and it's such an enthusiastic moment for you, then you remember it as this fun experience, and so you want to do it again. Like next time you go out and train, like you want to feel that again. So you go out and you're motivated to keep doing it. That's the first thing. And the second thing, in terms of results, well, you get better results. Like it might seem very counterproductive that if I try less, if I relax more, I'm gonna get better results. That sounds weird, but that's actually what happens, because there's none of this tension anymore. You're just flowing, you're just enthusiastic, you're just happy to be there. And whatever happens, whether you reach your goals or you don't, it always feels like a positive experience, because you're not pressuring yourself anymore with this constant, I need to get better, I need to try harder, this isn't working, I'm gonna do even more. You're more into a state of mind of like, okay, well, I'm happy to be out here, let's see what happens, you know? It's like you're working towards your goals, but you're detached from them. And when you're into this sweet spot of a mindset, you're actually going back to your first days of training, to the very reasons why you got into training and why you're doing this in the first place. It's liberating, it's fun, it's enthusiastic, and you want to be there. And that's the main thing. So if right now you don't want to be in your training, if it feels like this thing that you need to force yourself to do, then as counterproductive as it seems, just give up, just stop, just relax, do what you want to do. And at some point, I guarantee that you're going to miss that activity. You're going to want to do it again, not because you feel obliged to do it, but because you miss it. And when that happens, keep that mindset. Keep that mindset of, I'm not forcing myself, I'm there to have fun, I'm there to play, I'm there to enjoy it. If I don't enjoy it, I don't do it. And guess what? That'll be the first step towards this wonderful, energetic circle of motivation and fun, and you'll see the results there. Like, you'll feel happy to go out, you'll train, you'll push yourself, but there won't be all of that pressure associated with it anymore. So, you know, sometimes it's just about giving up. It's just about letting go. So let me know what you think.